Hey, I just wanted to bring you guys into what we're doing today. We're shooting my first online program, Transcending the Father Wound, how to overcome a childhood, a fatherless childhood, biblical perspective on it. And these young men are the ones that are helping me out with that. This will be offered on my website when we relaunch it, and it'll be a 5-session program, and I'll have my perspective from the spiritual point of view. We'll also have a clinical psychologist, as well as we'll have others who have or even are suffering from the father wound. So stay glued, stay tuned, go to my website, sign up for my email list at rcblakes.com, and we'll let you know more about it when it comes. My program, Transcending the Father Wound, Overcoming a Fatherless Childhood. I'm R.C. Blakes, and I want to welcome you to my program. I want to thank you for investing in yourselves. I thank you for believing in my message. But this is something that, this particular message is something that resonates with me, because on a daily basis I get emails, phone calls relative to people who are clearly suffering from what psychologists, therapists, and counselors have recently determined or described as or defined as the father wound. And this message really stems from the first book that I wrote that just really went off the charts, and this book is still very much so my #1 selling book. The father wound is an emotional void, a fractured, listen to this, an emotional void, a fractured self-esteem, and a poor sense of judgment due to the absence of a father's instruction, protection, and or nurturing. That's the father wound. It is an emotional void. This wound, the father wound, is created by fathers who are physically absent, and even by those who are present physically, and maybe even present financially, but emotionally they are disconnected. And I find that to be the case more times than not. His own feelings that serve to give me somewhat of a deeper perspective on how a person thinks and feels when they have developed in life without having had the benefit of a father. But the torment of a father wound is the quest for closure. The torment of the father wound is the quest for closure. I've seen women in their 60s who are still struggling, or were still struggling with the need for closure relative to the father wound. Their quiet obsession is to bring closure to a painful chapter. This is a very real situation in the life or the lives of those who are struggling with the father wound. And this becomes very complicated because there's so many variables. There's so many things, like, questions like this, for instance. What happens if the father is deceased? Where does closure come from if he's died? What does one do if the father will not recognize his failures? What if you make contact with him or have a heart-to-heart conversation with him and he still just won't recognize that he did anything wrong? What if there's no contact with the father? What if you, for the rest of your life, he lives or exists, but you can never contact him? How does one find closure in a situation like that?